Howdy, with this recording I want to go over the first essay and also go over the schedule a little bit. Let's do the schedule first. Today this video is being done on Thursday, February 8th. Nothing's formally due tonight, but you should be spending this extra time to read A Dollhouse. It's a full-length 3-act play. It's going to take you a while to get through it. It generally takes me about an hour and a half to read through it, and I kind of know what's going on. So be sure to allot yourself plenty of time for that. You might end up having to go back over it, one more time once you figure out what your essay topic is going to be. It's also more fun to read the second time. You see a lot of the foreshadowing that Ibsen engages in within the work. You're also going to have to read an essay by Brian Johnston. That's going to take a little time to get through. So make sure you're staying on top of things. Make sure you're getting the readings done. For Monday, February 12th, the topic for your first essays coming due. You may not have your outline ready by then, but I definitely want to know what your topic is. I'll talk about that here in a second. For next Thursday, the first 2 paragraphs are due. That'll just be more of a check-in. I'll make sure you're on the right track. May not be a lot of commentary, just like keep going. But if you're going down a dark alley, then I'll definitely try and alert you so you don't write a whole essay only to have your teacher go like, no, that's not right. We want to definitely avoid that. For Monday the 19th, the full draft of your essay is going to be due. Once those are in, I will send out peer reviews for you to complete on other people's essays. And you'll get a series of questions at the end of the essay and you can basically try and help each other out. You're not going to grade each other's essays or something. In fact, they're probably going to be a little rough. They're drafts, right? Once the peer reviews are in, I'll send those back to the original writers. The final version of the essay will be due on Monday, February 26th. Sounds like a lot of time, but it's good. It's a difficult essay. It's going to take some time to write it, to make whatever changes that you have to make as you go along. So it's a pretty major project, but it's doable. Once that essay is in, I want you to read Oedipus the King. If you want to do that over spring break, that's fine. But you want to come back from spring break having already read it. And this is online class, so it's not like we're going anywhere for spring break. I mean, maybe you are, but so I'll be pretty loose with that. If you got a lot of things coming due the week before spring break, which is pretty typical, you might end up pushing that back a bit, and that'll be fine with me. But when we come back from spring break, you should have that video viewed and that response paper in. Then we'll get back with a few more readings and get going on essay number 2. I want to remind you, if you have a job where you have to ask for your days off ahead of time, that you do have to go see the Never-Ending Story here at Northeast State. Should be a fun play. And it's one for children, too, if you want to bring your kids. That's April 12th, 13th, and 14th. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 7:30, or Sunday, April 15th at 2 o'clock. They're also doing a couple of matinees on the 12th and 13th, I think at 10 o'clock. If that's the only time you might be able to go, I can talk to our theater person and see if I can get you in there. I'm also thinking about taking my Sullivan Central dual enrollment class to one of the matinees, so you might be able to piggyback there. But we'll see how that. I'll know more about that in a couple of weeks, the Central thing. But you do get a free ticket if you're a student, and you are if you're in my class. Others do have to pay money to get in. But make sure you're making plans for that. And it's going to be different from the movie, so don't think you can just watch the movie there. But that's kind of the schedule. This first essay's, sorry to keep taking my hands off. This first essay is going to take us pretty much spring break there. And, you'll be kind of ready for spring break after the essay. Let me go over it a little bit. You'll find the assignment under essay assignments on the content page. I click on it. I already got it open. Hold on. And just want to kind of take you through the essay. I don't want to get into too much detail. You still got to read A Dollhouse and do everything else. But once you start writing, I'll do another video going in more detail about the essay. It's, the particulars of the essay. But it's a guided research essay. I tell you where to do your research and pretty much tell you don't do more research after that, or you might end up getting yourself in a little trouble there. But it's going to be a 1,000-word minimum. Word count shouldn't scare you too much. A lot of you are doing 200, 300 words on these responses without even trying, right? But you're going to have to read the Brian Johnston essay, Realism in a Dollhouse. That is located on the essay assignments area, right there. See if we can make it bigger What you're going to find with this essay, it's a difficult essay to get through. Brian Johnston is an Ibsen scholar. He's read all of Ibsen in the original Norwegian, and he's thought about it his entire academic career. He's going to be a little over our head sometimes. He's over my head, for sure. Maybe you've read all of Ibsen in the original Norwegian like he has, but I haven't got that far yet. Probably never will, to be honest. But he's going to take you through some different ideas about what he's seeing in a dollhouse. Some of it is going to, like I said, it's going to go over your head a little bit. You may not be up on your Hegelian parallels. Don't let it intimidate you too much. You're looking for one idea you can use in your essay. You don't have to understand everything Johnston says, but you want to find one good idea that you can turn into your own essay. And this essay is kind of still in draft form. He recently died, and I don't think he quite got this one finished. And you'll see why he kind of jumps around a bit. He leaves some ideas hanging a little bit too. And that's kind of normal sometimes for humanities essays. You can meander a bit. It's not like a science experiment where I'm going to create fusion in this glass of water and tell you exactly how I did it. Sometimes humanities essays kind of meander a little bit. It can be a little frustrating if you're a science type person or a math person. Kind of hang with them. And again, if some of it's kind of going over your head, kind of relax, take a deep breath. You're looking for that one point that you can use to develop your own essay. And we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But it takes a little while to get through. So make sure you give yourself some time there. But for your first paragraph, you're going to talk about what you found in Johnston that you want to use in your essay. Kind of show us where you got your idea from Johnston, quote from him. Then you're going to show us how you're going to make that idea your own by comparing a dollhouse to two other works we've read this semester. And you should be kind of looking to give all three works that you're going to discuss pretty much equal weight within your essay. In other words, you want to spend the same amount of time with each one. You're also free to disagree with Johnston if you see something he says and you're like, well, I don't know if I buy that. There's a few things I question about within that essay. That can make for a good essay too, especially if you're a contrarian, which I tend to be sometimes. Once you're in the body of the essay, you're going to relate that Johnston idea to the three works in your own unique way. You got the struggle for this essay is to kind of make it your own, not to repeat what Johnston says. Johnston's just where you're starting. Then the essay is going to show us where you're going, right? With his idea. Make sure you're doing analysis in the body. Don't summarize the works. I've read all of this stuff numerous times. I know what happens within the story of the play. You should be telling me what you're seeing in the play, right? Make sure the number of paragraphs is up to you. Make sure you have a good concluding paragraph. We'll talk about that more once we get into the essay. And you got a quote from the works. Got to have some fun punctuation. There's some forbidden words there. But the basic idea is that you're going to read A Dollhouse, read the Brian Johnston essay, and then start relating those things to at least two other works that we've read so far this semester. That's kind of what humanities courses should kind of push you to do, is start making different connections in different ways. Hopefully, as you're reading like the study notes for some of these readings, you're relating them to an art class or a history class or a philosophy class, other classes that you've taken or have taken, and it's starting to make a little more sense. And it's kind of the fun part of it. You kind of start keep getting more of the story as you engage in your studies. Also on the essay assignments, you'll see a quoting from the drama handout. You're going to see some study notes for A Dollhouse. I got the first one up. Once you're done with Act 1, you might want to go through and read those. You don't have to answer them or anything. I'm not asking you to turn anything in. But you might want to stop and think, what am I supposed to be getting out of this? And that's kind of what those questions kind of push you towards. Like, I don't just want you to be able to summarize the play. You need to be able to analyze the play, and those questions kind of push you in that direction. But you can read through the essay assignments there. You can kind of see why you get an extra time to read A Dollhouse and the Brian Johnston essay, Realism in a Dollhouse. It's just going to take a little time. I think that's about all I have. Just to go back to the schedule, I guess. So make sure you're getting the readings done. Make sure as you're reading, you start thinking about what you might use for that first essay. What can you kind of compare from A Dollhouse and between A Dollhouse and two other things you've read this semester? And pretty much if you can answer that question, Brian Johnston probably touches on that somewhere within his essay. That's the nice thing about his essay. He throws it all out there. He's shotgunning it, so to speak. If you have any questions about the schedule, let me know. If you're trying to get a little bit ahead in the class, you want to see your topic early, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Dropbox here in a second. But if you have questions, let me know. I'm going to get off here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.